You may have noticed that it's been a while since I did a Just a Thought by Kathy. It's not by accident. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you want to share and what might have value. Generally in life, we want to share things with people that help or lift them. And sometimes we can get caught in our own muck. And we think, how could we possibly think of something to help someone else? And yet it's interesting what we learn in our life that can be shared. And sometimes it's just for the one. Sometimes it's not about the likes or the loves. It's not about the comments. Sometimes it's about the one. Something that I've noticed lately, particularly in social media, is some of the division that's occurring based on our own individual perceptions of the current situation. Whether it's we believe the doors should be wide open and this is all a big scam and let's go forward, or whether that we're one who's reluctant to leave our home, who feels insecure and feels that there's more to this than meets the eye, and that we need to be mindful of each other and our comfort levels. That's fair, and both opinions are fair. Where we go down the road of unfairness is when we begin to judge other people for their opinions and perceptions. I'm guilty of it, so I think this is one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it, is that I need to recognize that each of us have an opinion. Each of us have a thought, and it's ours. These are thoughts by Kathy, not thoughts by the neighbor, the next community. These are thoughts by Kathy. And I want to make sure that I honor the thoughts of others who don't align with mine. One of Satan's tools is to create that confusion and that division, to separate us by our perceptions, to say who's right and who's wrong, to say who has the loudest voice, who has the strongest voice, who has the most power. It's all an illusion. What is important is honoring one another. It's accepting that we're going to have different thoughts. It's doing what's best for us and our families. If that's wearing a mask, if that's staying in our home, if that's minding the social distancing barriers, if that's keeping our business closed until we feel comfortable to open it. That's our right to have that thought. The same with those who believe that it should be business as usual. It's right to have that thought. And you can so operate without choosing to attack or malign someone who believes differently. You see that in lots of things in the world, not just COVID. This has been going on for a long time, where we aren't comfortable to let others have an opinion when it doesn't cohese with our own. So, here's my challenge. When you hear an opinion that doesn't mesh with yours, allow yourself to say, that's interesting. That's an interesting point of view. and carry on with what's best for you and your family. There's much more opportunity for you to actually learn from what they're saying. That doesn't mean you accept it, doesn't mean they're right, you're wrong. Do you know, somewhere in the middle is a truth. There is not a right and a wrong. There's a truth. And we have to honor people's truths. Doesn't mean we have to accept them or make them our own, but we can allow them to have them. That's one of the gifts of being here on the earth at this time, is learning those skills to allow and accept the thoughts and opinions of others, and to still go on with our own convictions. Maybe we even change our mind or open our blinders just a little bit to perhaps say, you know, you do make a good point. Just a Thought by Kathy is about my thoughts, my opinions. That doesn't make them yours. I honor yours and your right to have them. We're here to lift, build, and strengthen one another. Is that 100% being identical in our thoughts and feelings? Nope. What it is, though, is being willing to allow others to believe and think differently. How much more peace would there be if we could simply say, that's interesting, recognize their right to have the thought, and honor them and yourself by maintaining integrity, compassion, empathy, and a willingness to hear, to listen, and to accept that maybe today we're just not going to be 100% on the same page, but we're both bringing our paper. Just a thought. Consider it. It's mine.